Welcome back to Absolutely Marvel and DC. My name is Benny, that is Sal, and that is Dylan. And today we're going to talk about why we don't think it's Kang. And hopefully Dylan edits this episode fast enough that it doesn't come out after the last episode drops and it turns out to be Kang.
Right? We'll see.
So, running prevailing theory in the comic book community is that the big bad of Loki, the guy altering the entire timeline, is going to be Kang the Conqueror. And yes, I don't deny there is a ton of Easter eggs and mentions and things that would imply Kang the Conqueror being behind them. Why don't we start with, and for the record, this is going to be a bunch of potential spoilers or whatever. It is probably going to be null and, well, not probably, it will be null and void as of Wednesday's episode 6 of Loki. So anyway. Yes. If you're watching this after this and we got it wrong or right, let us know in the comments down below.
They will.
So Dylan, since you just did the Easter egg episode, give me a quick rundown. What is all the evidence you have found just off the top of your head? So it's probably not a complete list.
It's not a comprehensive list, but there's 4 big ones, and some that are a little more vague. But the middle timekeeper, since like the beginning episode, has always sort of resembled Kang. That's kind of where it started. Yeah. And then Gugu Mbatha Raw's character, Ravonna Renslayer, has a direct connection to Kang. She's like a princess from some future. And
pretty sure she's his daughter or something. She's a very obscure.
They have some weird connection. Yeah. I haven't read.
She's his like wife or something.
Yeah, I'm not super like privy to early Kang stuff, but I do know she's directly connected to him. So
it's all of this is like, it's similar to the TVA, where it's like it's ideas from like 70s comics that are just being pulled and morphed to fit this show. So, but more recently, Alioth is directly like, Alioth is this big storm cloud, this big like time storm cloud that he's conquered more of time than Kang has. So Kang is like, I don't want to mess with this dude because he's got more than me, but I think he eventually like beats him or something. And then the castle at the end of the 5th episode also sort of looks like Kang's castle. People are also freaking out because it kind of looks like Castle Doomstot, but like, no,
that'd be amazing.
Absolutely not.
Dr. Doom at the end of the show.
That would be the ultimate subversion of them being like, it is Dr. Doom. This is how we're bringing him into the universe.
Yeah, it's by treating him like Kang, because Kevin Feige is a big Secret Wars 84 fan. When like they suggested that Doom and Kang were related.
No. I was thinking more modern Secret Wars, where it's like God King Doom in that castle, and he's got like Beyonders just chilling with him.
Yeah. Oh my God. There's no way.
So basically, at this point in the story, and that's my problem with the big reveal of Kang, is there has been no direct setups for Kang. He hasn't appeared at all. He hasn't gotten a direct reference. We haven't already said, oh, there's only one timekeeper, and he likes to conquer things. You know, like
right.
Nothing like that has popped up. If they were to pull the wool from up, it would literally be the Wizard of Oz moment. Where we get to the ending and they pull it and they're like, he's like, I'm the one behind the curtain.
This guy?
Yeah. Who's this guy?
The problem is, there's a couple of issues with this. One, they haven't set up Kang. This is my opinion. And I know, Dylan, you're on the fence of it being Kang. But they haven't set him up at all. Like, he hasn't. There's been no name drops.
In
no references.
Story, they have not. At all.
And he's been cast for Quantum Mania.
Right.
So we already have a Kang who's been announced to the MCU. So if Kang shows up here, one of the best kept secrets ever, because you don't think it would have been leaked that actor was on set. Like
that I think would not have been leaked, because we haven't seen. We only know about like all the spider people because of like Alfred Molina's loose lips, not about seeing Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield or anything anywhere.
Hey, a pizza guy saw Andrew Garfield when he delivered the pizza to the set.
Yeah, but he was in another thing. One of the spider people, and even then it was a pizza guy. I don't know. I don't trust him. But like
that pizza guy, Tobey Maguire.
Exactly.
And then there was a guy who was on a run who ran into Tobey Maguire, and Tobey Maguire gave him a wink that he is in the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that leak too. You saw that one. Right? That was going around.
But no, I think it might be Kang. I kind of hope it is, because like Sylvie and Loki, they're like, we got to know who's behind everything. Who is it? And it's like, would it? And the question is, would it be meaningful if it's Loki? Like, would it matter?
I think only because it would play into the plots they've set up. Loki can't win, so Loki tries to find a way to win, so Loki can't win. And this would be the ultimate scheme.
Right.
And
who cares?
I just thought of this based on our previous discussion. Yeah, I agree. Who cares? But I'm going to hate this. But based on our previous discussion about the Loki episode, my theory right now is that the two Lokis who have now discovered friendship and that they can work together are going to convince this Loki to just let them work with him, or to step away because he has friends and doesn't need to win. And
I think the opposite.
You think it's not going to be the friendships?
No, my most grounded theory, because at this point I kind of agree that Kang is it would be out of left field, and I have reasons to believe that it would be Kang, which we'll get into. But like, aside from just the comic book funny little references, I think if I had to put money on something, it is going to be old Loki, but one that didn't miss his brother, one that is the like conniving, like Loki before he dies in Siege, before Kid Loki, before all of that redemption.
Yeah.
What
like
is the
that
one that is like
Loki.
the all black Loki? Isn't there like an all black Loki at the end of time? The ultimate
That's a
evil?
good one. That's one that is redeemed. But the one that
he's very
that
evil
is,
looking, so forgive me.
yeah, no, he's super evil looking. But the one that the one that Kid Loki inevitably eats to get rid of him, the devil on his shoulder, like the classic Loki that died heroically, is one that floated in space as debris and ended up missing his brother. But this Loki is one who floated in space and was like, hey, wait a minute, I can go to the end of time and the TVA can't find me there.
Right. So
So I'll just chill there and then build an empire there and employ this Galactus cloud from the Fantastic Four movie. But it's yeah, I think if I were to put my money on something that makes sense for this show, then that is I don't think it's just going to be like a Tom Hiddleston Loki who's like, ha ha ha. But if it is a Loki,
annoying.
I think that's what it's going to be. Yeah, it would be irritating.
Yeah, I'd be okay with Richard E. Grant coming back and being like, it's me, but another me. That'd be fine with me. But I kind of want it to be Kang, and here's why. I feel like, people are like, we haven't set him up yet. And I'm like, this is the setup.
Right.
This is the reveal of Kang.
That's what I think. I think, like, going back to the Avengers. At the end of the Avengers, we see Thanos, and everyone was like,
Thanos! And people, who the hell is this purple guy? He's purple!
I've said this since the beginning. I do think we'll get Kang as like a teaser or a like. It'll be like the
Like a
Thanos
post-credits.
teaser. I don't think
Right.
he'll be prominently in the episode. I do think at the end of it all, we'll find out Kang was turning the wheels, and it'll be the moment. But I
he's
don't
just like,
think
what?
I don't think Loki's going to see or confront Kang.
Right.
I think it's going to be
it's-
someone else.
The interesting thing is because, like, out of the 3 shows that we have so far, WandaVision ends very open-ended, and it's clear that it is the prequel to a movie. Falcon and Winter Soldier is more contained, but has connections, obviously.
Right.
And but Loki, we're not sure yet, like, which camp that's going to line up in. So it could finish and be a self-contained story if it's a Loki, but if it's Kang, then it's like, oh, okay, this show we're not done. Like, we're going into a movie somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, and I've heard some, what was it, because Feige said, like, this is kind of an important show, and not because, like, it's important for me, because I learned the value of friendship, and I wanted to express that through show. Like, it's important because it sets things up, and it's like, Kang could be a great way to set that up. And
I don't think, like, everyone's thinking, like, they're going to walk in there and Kang's going to step out and be like, it was me all along, Loki.
It was me, Barry.
Yeah, well, that was the joke I was going for, but...
God.
And I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be a Loki, and I think you're going to be vastly disappointed the whole episode because it's just an evil Loki, or it's somebody simple that we already know, or it's Renslayer or somebody like that, somebody already set up.
So lame.
And I feel like it's going to be resolved. Loki and Sylvie are going to travel into the multiverse, setting up a Doctor Who show, And then we're gonna get like Kang's gonna walk out from behind the curtain. I can't believe that worked. You know, like that kind of a thing. Because Jonathan Majors is I just Googled. That's why my face lit up because I was Googling it. Is the guy cast for in Ant-Man and Quantumania? Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania, and he's not listed for this.
No,
but that
he wouldn't be. They're not gonna.
But what I'm saying is, well, yeah, but they also name dropped Sylvie episode 1 by mistake. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
What was it? Subtitles, right?
No, it was the credits.
It was in the credits of like the I think the dub actor or something.
And they've already put in the silhouette of Doctor Strange and another thing. So
no, they didn't. Real.
But what I'm saying is, I have a feeling we're going to get some kind of implication that he was a part of this. But since he's not even listed on IMDb, outside of like a 5-second voice clip that they could have easily hit. I don't see even a face reveal or anything. Maybe a behind-the-head CG guy, and we just have like, it's time for me to conquer. You know, something stupid.
Yeah.
Like,
Something dumb. Yeah, well, he probably won't say anything. But now, actually, they have an actor, so he can say something.
Yeah.
As opposed to Thanos, where it's like, put a stunt guy in a weird thing.
CG
Don't
monster.
say a thing. Yep. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm for sure the fence sitter here. I think I'm not I'm not like convinced either way. I feel like because like Kate Herron, I feel like wants to make a self-contained story with an actual message.
Yes.
But I feel like Marvel wants to put Kang in the show. So I don't know like who has the power here.
Who prevails? We'll probably do both then. But
I think that's the point of the Easter eggs and the mentions, though. I think it's so that we can tie it to Kang once Kang is introduced.
Right.
I think that they're future-proofing. Like, so what I think the ultimate goal here at MCU headquarters, they're all sitting around the MCU table, which probably has like a big, Tony Stark face on it. They're all sitting on the big MCU table, and the goal here is we have a movie coming out that's going to feature a villain who can time travel, and we have the TVA in a show about time travel. And unlike comics, we don't want 90 things that can time travel and don't reference each other. So what if we imply Kang's a part of this, but we never name drop him? So that way, when you see Quantumania, you go, wait, where was Kang during that whole Loki thing? The hardcore fans can go, well, that castle was his, and the dog's related to him, and Renslayer's related to him, and
Avengers Tower was named after the corporation he founded.
Yeah, that's what I think. Like, that's the point. Like, I think the point is to future-proof. Because I think they're trying to get... Because if you look into it, there's a lot of plot holes in the MCU in the first 10 years because they didn't plan for it to actually work. Sure. So there's a lot of things that were in the front half that got changed later because of Perlmutter and Feige's arguments and all kinds of stuff. So I think Feige, being the guy in control now, is like, look, this is Kang. We've introduced Kang. If you're doing time travel, you need to make sure that there's notes that he exists. So that's my theory.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a self-contained thing. I just would rather it be Kang at this point. I'm just kind of like...
The comic book fan in me would love that. I won't lie.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, at this point, I'm like, just go for it. Who cares? Because at the end of the day, like, it's not just a excuse to watch good TV. Like, they're not making these Disney Plus shows to prove a point. They have trillions of dollars. They don't need to. They're like, they don't need to be like, we're creative. We could win an award. Like, they don't care.
Well, that's my problem with the shows. Because they're self-contained 6-hour binges, they feel like a long movie. They're not setting up the future. They're not setting up a season 2. We're not getting more... Like, they're just literally like, it's a long movie. Enjoy.
Yeah, well, so is the MCU, the first 10 years of which, like, because they're not... Like, Endgame didn't set anything up. It's just... It's the end. Here you go.
Exactly.
And I kind of like that, and I'm actually really glad that these shows are kind of like just other pieces of this
big puzzle.
This puzzle.
And I think that's why Feige was like, this is the important one. Like, this is the one you need to watch, because it's like WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier. We talked about this. Like, they can easily be recapped in a movie. Right. And they're dealing with their tie-ins to Endgame. But like, this one is less so a tie-in to Endgame and more so just like the beginning of Phase 4.
Yeah.
and because it's like we said, it's finally like we're seeing what we've assumed was going to be the groundwork, which is multiverse, and now we know it's multiverse through time travel, hence Kang.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I love how Spider-Man Far From Home is like the road to Phase 4. Like it's it's like the postscript to Endgame and Phase 3, but it's also kind of like, are you cool with a multiverse? Like, do you buy his story?
Like, do you like this?
Yeah, do you like that? Like, how fooled were you by Mysterio? And he's like, it's not multiverse, that'd be ridiculous. And they're like, is it though? And it's like, just testing your feet. But what if we actually did do a multiverse though? Would that blow your mind? Or
I think Spider-Verse proved that it's a very viable thing to do.
for sure.
Spider-Verse was like, an Oscar-winning movie about a multiverse? We're all doing that.
And
DC's
it's a cartoon.
doing it. Like,
Well, that's just it. As soon as Spider-Verse came out, because I think every one of these boardrooms were like, time travel and multiverse. Too complex for the average viewer.
They're not going to get it. Yeah.
And then they do a cartoon about the Spider-Verse, and everyone's like, wait, hold on. That sold like crazy? Do multiverse, do time travel. Everyone do it. DC's like, stop questioning the DCEU. Just watch the movie.
Yeah. Well, that's the new Hollywood buzzword is multiverse. They're just like, multiverse. That's what our new buzzword is. And it's like, you don't even know what that means. You can't even keep the words reboot and relaunch straight in your own vernacular. Like, it's a reboot. So you're recasting? Why would we recast? It's a reboot.
That's kind of why I like the way that they're doing multiverse here, because it seems like they have more of a grip on it, because they're like, multiverse is the thing, but we're doing it in a way that makes sense. Like, we're not just opening the door randomly. Like, there's a reason.
Right. Well, they're defining it. They're like, this is our way of doing multiverse. We have our own rules and we have our own expectations, and like we've set it up in this structure. So we can break it and bend it, but it's not just going like, here's a Flash movie with a bunch of Batman. I hope you like it. And, we'll do whatever. I don't know. Suicide Squad, not, like, that's just Hollywood. That's just Hollywood saying, I just want to do everything. Mm-hmm. As opposed to like, I want to do this thing that allows me to do everything. And I hope I can use it as a backdoor to do that. Because I think Evan Peters is the same deal, where it's like, you cool with this? Everybody cool with this? Nobody's mind is blown? Nobody's freaking out? All right.
Well, I mean, Boner Man was kind of an interesting decision.
Oh, that was actually worse. Like, actually, it'd be cool if they didn't. I think people would have been more satisfied if they didn't do the boner joke. If they had just been like, we're doing this. And people being like, yeah, I'm on board for that. I love that guy.
What I wish they had done is just not, like, just left us questioning it.
Yes.
That's what I would have liked. Like,
that's fair.
Don't name drop him. Just be like, oh, he's somebody from the town, and just left it.
Yeah, you guys want to go back and change some things about WandaVision? Don't add trees. Cut the boner joke and make it more nebulous. That would be an award-winning change.
I think, and I honestly think like it just because it's similar with Kang, with the Kang stuff. It's like I think the reason they didn't make him Quicksilver was because it wasn't appropriate for that show at the time.
Right.
It would have been a cool, like, wow moment, but it's not, there's no reason for it to happen in the show. It's just like all the Kang stuff in this is probably just like, are you cool with this? Like, but
it also
Kang?
didn't have any weight. Like, but making him not anything, it's like you didn't even have the balls to go through with it. Mm-hmm. So now nothing happened. Like, you didn't do the crazy big thing, and you didn't do anything valuable. Like, they were so worried about it, like about it undercutting the emotional through line of WandaVision that they still wanted to do it though.
Do anything.
And it's like, that sucks. Like, WandaVision's emotional conclusion will still hit, and you can say that X-Men is in the multiverse. There's nothing that says, and that's why I'm like, Kang too. Like, you can still have Loki learn a valuable lesson about friendship, and then Care Bear stare the villain into oblivion, and have Kang show up.
What if he shows up, it is Kang, and Loki pulls the mask off like Scooby-Doo, and it's just Loki?
Right, that would be the worst thing they could do.
That would
be easily the worst thing they could do.
That would be the Iron Man 3 Mandarin moment.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
That'd
you
be
thought?
worse.
Nope.
That'd be worse than Mandarin. That'd be worse
But
than
don't worry. We already cast the
100%.
real Kang. He's showing up in the movie.
Yeah, he's
that
in
would be
prison.
stupid.
He's in the same prison that the real Mandarin was in. We'll get back to it in 6 years.
Yeah, him, Justin Hammer, Abomination, they're all in there. Red
Yeah.
Skull's Ghost, they're all hanging out together, and they're going to form
Yep.
they're going to do the Acts of
Red
Vengeance arc. And
Skull's
that's Phase 5.
ghost. That is such a waste of just. We brought it back. He's a ghost.
I can't believe I was rewatching Endgame yesterday, and I can't believe like friggin' Hawkeye said that's what the red dude said to the other dude, and I'm like, you didn't say Red Skull. Have Cap go, what?
Excuse me?
Did you say Red effing Skull? We got to get on that Quinn. We got to go. I got to punch
He's
this
just
ghost.
chilling up there. He's good.
That's the best part. He's still there.
The fact is, actually, there's no way Cap doesn't meet him because Cap has to put the Infinity Stone back.
Right. I want to see that scene. That would be
Cap's
great.
walking up and he's like, "Wait, why didn't anyone
Hello,
tell
Captain.
me you?
It's me. Are you? No.
Excuse
Why didn't no
me?
one warn me?"
Okay, well, I give you the stone back, so I get Nat back, right? Oh, I don't
No.
know if that's how that works.
Timeline.
All right, guys. Well, that's our series of discussions on Kang the Conqueror.
Yay,
This video
Kang.
will be so dated on Wednesday, but whatever. I hope you guys enjoyed. My name's Betty. That is Sal. That is Dylan. I run Comic Story, and he runs Comic Pop, and he runs Orb's Corner. He pretty much
Yeah.
runs all my channels for me at this point. So, but yeah, guys, thank you so much. We'll see you next time right here on Absolutely Marvel and DC.